As teenagers, we all have fears of growing up. Becoming adults, we like to imagine being successful, getting married, going places, all these fantastic adventures just awaiting. It's easy to get lost in your imagination, in your success, and in your future. But there's just one thing we don't think about, and that's our fears. Especially fears for your future. Maybe you are afraid of getting old, marriage, death. But I'm not. Quite frankly and honestly, I'm not afraid for me. I'm not afraid for what the future has for me as a human. I'm terrified for my children. I'm terrified they will grow up bullied, badgered, made fun of because of who they are. I'm scared that they will hate their life, want to change who they are, or wish they had never been born. I'm terrified of them not being able to tell me or their father how they feel, and for me to not know about their pain is horrifying. I fear that they will be scared to admit to themselves how they feel, and even worse, to me. Kids can be very cruel. I would know. Pointing out the tiniest things, stupid flaws that no one pays attention to. But even the big parts of what really makes us all human. I'm scared that my children will get bullied because of the things that make them unique and try to push them away. That my children will just let them progress to get worse, such as I have done before myself. Or the point where they get punched, kicked, like they are worthless. As if no one cares. When they'll mean the world to me. I worry they'll have rumors started and they're going to have their most used nickname be the one that they hate the most. I'm afraid of their pain and what they'll have to go through. If they will have to force a smile as a mask to hide the tears, such as many others have, and still have to do, always. With today's society, we have so many things to categorize ourselves. Everything is put into an organization or a list. Tall, short, pretty, ugly, girl, boy, happy, sad, gay, straight. I can go on for days with these categorizations that my children will have to decide for themselves. I understand most teens want what they not what they're morally looking for. They're looking for someone pretty, and if there's somebody who's not quite as attractive as another, moralistically they will not go with the other person. And I don't want my children, first of all, to be pushing away someone who could potentially be helpful to them, or my kids to be pushed away from a group of people who are just not worth it. I'm very afraid that my kids will think that they're not meeting someone's standards and that they have to, because I don't think it's right. If you have to live up to someone else's standards, they're not worth your time, you're eventually gonna crack. I'm afraid mostly of them hurting themselves, causing scars, or mental scars. Physical scars could affect their future as well. I believe every kid has potential. Even the worst people, I believe in. I don't find the tiniest things just to be in the way of a good future. There's a lot of kids who have potential and just don't let it shine through because they are afraid of not fitting in. They are afraid of letting people know what they are capable of and that they are victorious. It's very difficult for someone to tell when someone is depressed, and I will not always be able to be that parent to tell when they are sad or when they are angry or when they are falling apart, because the hardest thing is finding someone who is depressed. There's people day to day that are awfully depressed, and they just wear a smile, and they're very presentable. They could be very rich, they could be very poor, but either way they could be falling apart and their lives could be crumbling, and you may not even know because so many people are just good at hiding it. I hope every kid, not just my kids, but also any other person going through something, I'd like everyone to know everyone's worth it. Any kid, any child, anybody is worth it. Even the most difficult as it seems now, the people who are in the biggest ruts, the people who are down, everyone, I know it's not going to be resolved in a day, like, oh, I'm better now, but, like, I just want everyone to know they are worth it. And there's not a single life that is not worth it. You have affected strangers' lives. You have affected other people's futures. I know the tiniest people in my life have made some of the biggest impacts today. Just random acts of kindness throughout my life have made a big difference. But I'll always worry about my kids. Because I know everyone does. You could be 40 and still worry about your kids every second. Who doesn't? Finish off with this quote by Morella Foster. Only those with skin as thick as an elephant's can hope their teens, unsheltered by self-doubt and doubts of depression. Crazy people. I know I'm not alone when I'm saying I am worried about what is to come, when it is time for me to have children of my own, possibly someday. But I will love them unconditionally, no matter what they are, preference, or anything. I want to be there for them. I don't want them to feel like they can't talk to me or their father if, they have an actual problem, because I have many people and have known many people who have inflicted scars or have even taken their own life. And it's one thing to find out that one of your friends has, went, but another thing for a parent, for a kid or a friend, that'll obviously be scarring for them, but for a parent, it's every day waking up with the realization that your kid is gone. And I want to be able to listen to my kids and give them the support they need and be a rational decision maker in their life as well. I want them to feel comfortable with me, their father, even their friends. I don't ever want them to feel worthless, and I don't want any of you out there listening to this to feel worthless, because you are worth so much more than you could imagine. Thank you.